Message of the day, July 12th, 2023. The title is Guard Your Tongue or Lose Your Crown. Scripture is going to be Esther chapter 1, verse 10 through 12, NIV. You guys know I like NIV. It's just easier to read. The Bible text reads this. On the seventh day, when King Xerxes was in high spirits from wine, he commanded the 7 eunuchs who served him, Mehuman, Biztha, Harbona, Bigtha, Abagtha, Zathar, and Carcass to bring before him Queen Vashti, wearing her royal crown, in order to display her beauty to the people and nobles, for she was lovely to look at. In this day and age, I just think about flashing someone around because of their beauty at your demand, how well that would go over. But let's keep reading. Let's just keep reading. But when the attendants delivered the king's command, Queen Vashti refused to come. You think she would, right? Then the king became furious and burned with anger. That's the text, Esther chapter 1, verses 10 through 12, NIV version. The meaning of the text. How many people do you know that could not guard their tongues, so they eventually lost their crowns? I know you know someone. I know someone. I've even been in situations where, someone said the wrong thing to me. It kind of sparked an emotion, and eventually it didn't work out so well for me because of what I said to them. So I've even been in that situation. I know we all have had some situations. I know someone who's been in a situation that we could not guard our tongues, so it eventually cost us our crowns. I can see why Queen Vashti would say no to the king, shall I say, because in this day and age, women have more opportunities available to them than what was available to them in the times of the Bible. Think about it from the perspective, she did not want to be modeled around in front of some people she did not know, like she was a piece of meat in a lion's den from the orders of a drunken king. Remember, the king was merry with wine. So he was drunken, and he just ordered her to come as if she was just some kind of, some kind of vessel for him to use whenever he wanted to use, or some kind of project for him. So of course she said no. But you got to think about it. This was a misogynistic society in which women were deemed to be inferior to men. So her saying no, you got all the other men, if you keep reading in that same text, saying that, hey, this is going to cause our wives to say no to us. So it was a chain reaction that would have happened if the queen would have kept her crown and defied the king's orders in the way that she defied his orders. And not only that, it would have been a chain effect for all of the other men, all of the other women to actually start reacting like the queen acted if the king didn't step up and do something. But let's keep going in the text. To add to that, she was the queen to a king who had complete authority and rule over everything. So whatever the king says, that's it. He has complete authority, complete order over everything. You can't refuse him. If you're in his country and he decides that you can't fly, then you're not flying. If you're in his country and he decides that you can't leave, then you're not leaving. It's just that simple. He has complete rule and authority over everything. Let's put this also into perspective, because I want you to get an understanding of the text from where we are now in our current times, but also from the time that the book was actually written. That's why I keep giving you where we are now and what type of society they were dealing with back then. Because I want you to get an interpretation to see how, even though I totally agree that she shouldn't have been modeled around like she was a piece of meat in a lion's den, but to defy the king's order, that was totally unacceptable in those times. Now that you have an understanding of the text, of the time of the text, you can see that disobeying the king's order was not acceptable, no matter what the king order was. With that stated, how do you think God, who is our sovereign king and the king of all kings, feels when you disobey his orders? Selah. I wanted that awkward pause in there just because I wanted you to really think about it for a moment. How do you think God feels? The sovereign king of all kings feels when you disobey his orders. So we got King Xerxes here, who was the sovereign ruler at that time, but over his particular land, we got God who's the king of all kings. So before you defy his orders, please think about your actions before you actually do that. But let's keep going further in the text. However, after Vashti refused the king's orders, she lost her position as queen. Like I said, the title states, guard your mouth, or guard your tongue, or lose your crown. So she lost her crown because she defied the king's orders. I want to talk to somebody who feels like you can say whatever to whoever, whenever you want to. And I suppose there's a lot of people out there because people troll you on the internet. They actually they compromise your name. They come for you in so many different ways in this day and age. So I'm trying to put it into perspective. I know we see them on the online trolling people all the time because they feel like they can say whatever to whoever, whenever. They have no self-regard, no self-respect, no self-discipline to prevent them from doing that. But I want to talk to that person because the title specifically speaks to that person, including me, because I've been that person. It includes me. It specifically speaks to you. Guard your tongue or lose your crown. Let the example of Vashti be an example to you that if you cannot follow orders, no matter what the orders are, if you cannot follow orders, then you cannot wear the crown. And this is the underlying quote that I always leave you guys with. There's the power of life and death in the tongue. Please choose life. Thank you. Till next time.